streaming.
Let me turn the Spanish guitar off.
Going live. I am playing Dub Conscious in the background. Adrian Zelski, HGH Seed Company. The song is Stereotypical. A link to the YouTube video with the song on it in the description. I've had a lot of people actually. I think that we've helped raise the awareness of Dub Conscious by playing this song. I've gotten random comments from people about, man, I love that song, Dub Conscious. Oh wait,
It is
I guess
a great
I should
song.
do this. Live from the mighty VeedVerks airship, I'm Travis Lippert, CEO of Verks Unlimited Limited, better known as VeedVerks.
And I'm Julie Richardson, Marketing Director for Colorado Normal. And we are here tonight to catch you up on all the nonsense that's going on in this legislative season. First,
Colorado legislative season. Sorry, go ahead. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Oh, no. I just give you a chance to say hi, too.
Yeah, I'm trying to make sure that, yeah, it looks like we got this all working now. So I'm going today to try to pay attention to the comments. So if you have any comments on Facebook, I'm going to attempt to keep this comment stuff up on the left and actually read it when you guys chime in. Since we don't have a guest, then yeah, I won't hesitate to interrupt people to give you a shout out.
Right.
Yeah, so we've got legislation to talk about Colorado. But before we do that, can we talk about some other stuff?
Sure.
Okay. I saw Anthony Fauci said that 2 masks is better than 1. And so, and next, like the joke is, everybody's going to start saying, well, 3 masks. 3 masks or you're going to kill your grandma, right? And what I was thinking is where this is going to end up is, I bet at the end of this, the government bans us from wearing masks. Not only do they say, okay, you don't have to wear masks anymore, but I bet they're going to say, you cannot wear masks. It's forbidden.
Oh, get this. At the hospital, you know that N95 you brought me? When I go to the hospital, because I exhale, I have to wear a mask over that.
Yeah.
So
I didn't bring you one of those,
protect
did I?
me and one to protect them.
You must have gotten that from Stefan and Jessica.
I
If
don't
it's
know.
an N95 with an exhale valve. I've
Yeah.
never had an N95 or
All
a
right.
KN95.
You brought me some really good ones, though.
I just brought you cartridge filling masks. That's all I had. We had an oversupply of those at one point. They're all gone now.
Mhm.
And then, so in China, they have a new COVID test. Have you seen that?
Mhm.
You seen it?
Well, I saw some news on China Uncensored. I watched that a little bit.
Yeah.
What got me about China Uncensored today was talking about the re-crackdown of the new variants.
Are they cracking down again?
Yeah.
I'm going
This is
to share this out. Try and get somebody to watch. Let's see.
Yeah.
How do I do this?
Well, you go to watch party
Watch
and you go
party.
to share. I'll do it too. And then go share now public, but the easiest way to go to more options. And it should, doesn't do it anymore. Interesting. Let's go to, that's crazy. We don't get it anymore. Because we used to be able to share it live, but I've been
I was just able to.
Oh, were you?
You've got to scroll down. You've got to go to the page and, like, if there's that little video in the corner popped up, like, that's not it. You got to scroll down and go to the post in the page, and then there's a share. So I was just able to share this out.
Nice. Nice.
So yeah, the in China they have a new COVID test. It's an anal probe. They're they're
Okay.
anal probing people for COVID.
Huh.
If they try that here, I keep waiting for there to be like a final straw before people just lose their minds all the way. And I think like anal probes, I think that's where a lot of people are going to draw the line. I'm not wearing 3 masks for sure. You're going to have a lot of trouble convincing me to wear 2 masks. Once you ban masks, then you're going to have me trouble making me not wear a mask.
I had a nightmare that we were at a cannabis event and people were doing what they normally would do. Hey, Julie, and hug and stuff like that. And I was flipping my shit because nobody had on a mask.
Really? I've never had a dream about masks.
I had a dream about masks. I really did. And I'm like, nobody has a mask. What are you doing?
Yeah. I've been. The other thing that is very interesting to me is what's going on with GameStop, and I've seen a ton of takes on this, but I cannot help but offer my opinion about this. I used to be a pattern day trader. I was screwed by hedge funds numerous times, and I absolutely love what's going on with GameStop. And what's going on, I want to explain short selling really quickly. What it actually is rather than just what they're saying on CNBC. It's a bet, or MSNBC or whatever, where they just say, well, they're betting that the stock will go down. What exactly is happening is that, so you can make money in the stock market by buying low and selling high. And you can also make it by first selling high and then buying low. And when you do that, when you sell it before you buy it, it's called shorting a stock, and you're supposed to borrow the shares of that stock from a lending somebody that's got shares. So in order to short a stock, you're supposed to go to borrow those shares from TD Ameritrade or whoever would presumably have a big stockpile of these shares. You would borrow them and you would pay interest on those shares. So say the stock's at $60, you could borrow shares at $60 and be paying interest on these shares and sell them at $60, and then hope that the stock goes down to $20 because you still owe the shares back to the people that you borrowed them from. And so if the stock goes down to $20, then you can buy them. You can say you short 100 shares. When it goes down to $20, you can buy 100 shares and return those shares to the lender. But what has been going on in the stock market since at least 2008, it's probably been going on forever. But with the financial crisis of 2008, one of the biggest problems with it is that they allowed the people who make the market in the stock. When you and I buy and shares, or when we buy and sell stock, we don't do it directly. We do it through an intermediary called a market maker, a bank, a financial entity. These market makers have been selling shares of stock to people to keep, the more shares that there are to sell or available for sale, the lower the price goes, right? Supply and demand. They've been selling shares of stock that do not exist. They are not first borrowing them. They're selling things that don't exist. So much so that all of the shares of GameStop, they've shorted more shares than exist of that stock. It's fake shares. And so all of these people on Reddit got together and they're like, you know what? There's 147% short interest in this stock. And we're just going to buy it and make the price go higher. And then, so if you short a stock and say you short it, I think that most of these hedge funds shorted it when it was just in the 20s, and they were shorting it down to expecting it to go down to 20 or 16 or something like that. So once that stock goes to, say, $40, if you say you shorted it at $25, naked shorted it, and the stock goes to $50, you have to return these you have to make these shares appear, these fabricated shares. You have to buy them on the open market And so, and if the stock goes up to $1 million, then, and you shorted 100 shares, then I mean, you owe somebody $100 million worth of stock, and that's what's going on with GameStop. Is that tons of retail, small-time investors are taking their stimulus checks, putting them into their Robinhood app, and they're buying a junky company that's not. I mean, it truly isn't worth $20, but they're buying it, and all of these naked shorts are getting screwed. They're this one fund was down. I think they shorted 55 million shares, and those, so they're out 55 million times about $300 right now. It's incredible. It's one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. And the reason why I like it, number one, sticking it to hedge funds is awesome. They need to. You know what the name of the rule is? The SEC rule that allows you to naked short stocks. It's called the Madoff exception. It was written by Bernie Madoff. And the SEC wouldn't get rid of it during the financial crisis, and they now I bet they're going to look at it, because these Reddit traders, they're going to look at the next highest shorted stock, which they're doing right now. AMC has a huge short interest, theater chain, so they're bidding up the price of that, and they're squeezing the shorts on that too. I think it's awesome, and the main reason I think it's awesome is because for the last 4 years. There's been a concerted effort to divide this country along different lines. They're dividing us up into our individual identities, and they're making it a black versus white, and a conservative versus liberal, and a, Antifa and Proud Boys, and they're trying to make us all hate each other. And I think that all of this is a big distraction from the fact that in 2011, a bunch of people from all across the political spectrum got sick of the bullshit that was going on Wall Street, and they occupied Wall Street in 2011. And remember the 99%? That's what this year has gotten us, is they've made us stop talking about the 99%. They've made us forget about all of us that are getting screwed by this system. And now we're all fighting each other instead of rightfully focusing our attention on the people who really deserve to be put in check. Which is billionaires, hedge funds, Wall Street, corporate media. I hope AMC goes to $1,000. I hope GameStop goes to $1,000. I hope they just pile on short after short after short, drive those stocks up, and put these hedge funds out of business. They want to give $50,000 to pay back student loans. How about this? Why don't we take all that money from the hedge funds and via Robinhood, and just pay off your own student loans with BlackRock's money? I think that would be awesome. But
what are your feelings about Bitcoin?
I wish I had a bunch of it. I regret not buying it earlier. I'm not gonna run out and buy it right now. I understand how it works, and I'm pretty convinced on like the value proposition of it, and it looks like kind of a safe place to store money instead of cash, because I mean, we've printed so much money this year. Like 66% of the dollars in circulation were made this year, or made in 2020. And now we got another $1.9 trillion. We're already $27 trillion in debt. They're just going to keep printing, and they're going to, if they give everybody $50,000 that went to college, I wonder if they'll give me $50,000. I went to college, but it was free, and the government already paid for it. Maybe they'll give me another 50, or how about 10? Give me 10, or else you're a white supremacist if you don't give me $10,000 for my free college education. But if they start sending out $50,000 checks, and we're already seeing it inflation-wise, like those Arizona iced teas that have been 99 cents. It's printed right on the can forever. They've been 99 cents. Now they're at $1.39. They went up 40%. And I bet you're going to see a 40% increase in your milk prices and bread and, Corona butt tests. They're all going up in price. It's ridiculous.
You know what really gets me is the oral chemo that I take for 21 days. They send me a statement with it, and it blows my mind. I'm gonna hold it up to the camera so y'all can see it. $14,122.59
Per month? Or
per
for
month
21 days?
for 21 days.
Oh my goodness. How many pills do you take a day?
I just take that and the fulvestrant. I've
But
been
it's just
doing
one pill, so you get
one pill for
one
21
pill.
days. For 21 days. And
Let's
I know I
we can do the
probably
math.
cost the state of Colorado a good $20,000 a month, because this is another medication and it's $1,500 a month.
So each of those so for that first one, each of those pills costs like 600 and something dollars.
Mm-hmm.
Dang.
And yeah. So it's that's not the fulvestrant injections or anything that I get. So I might even be lowballing it at 20,000
That's
a month,
ridiculous.
right?
It's ridiculous.
Right? It
Oh,
is.
what are we gonna do about it? I guess we should worry about cannabis first.
Yes. Yes.
We'll
Well,
fix cannabis. So we've got a
right.
number of bills that are in draft form right now, and they're going to go potentially before the Colorado legislature. And at least one of these bills it's the stupidest thing I've seen all day.
It really is.
And I've been reading stock message boards all day, seeing lots of stupid stuff. I'm watching people buy GameStop at $350 when the company's really only worth like probably 15. But this is stupider than that. The
Right.
Potency cap.
Right. Right.
And
You
then
know, I'm reading any medical or retail marijuana or medical retail concentrate or medical retail marijuana products that contains butane, propane, or known human carcinogen. Look, let's start there. How many people, Wendy Turner's son, Colton Turner, chose cannabis over a cancer-causing pharmaceutical? We all have. If you look in the warnings of these pharmaceutical drugs, so many of them cause cancer in mice, and they've proven these studies and stuff like that. And for them to say this, I'm going to start it off with, okay, the testing. Where's the medical testing that needs to be done?
yeah. So yeah, let's go back just a little bit. So that this is a
Yeah, read the summary.
I still have a it doesn't have a bill number on it yet.
It's a bill for an act. And before we really jump into it, here's the agenda from all the patient groups, all of the industry groups, is we need to kind of nip this in the bud and do it very quickly. And we have done that to bills before, and we can do it to this one. So, if when we give you, here's where your letters, we're going to be posting it, all of the different advocacy groups, fill it out, do the polls, do the pre-written letters to your congressman, write them yourself, call, because we're not going to be able to fill that capital like we were in the past. This is probably going to be another remote testimony kind of thing. And if there was ever a time we needed emails and calls done, we need it now.
So this bill is sponsored in the House by the only uncool Yadira I've ever met. I haven't even met her, but Yadira Caraveo from Colorado District 31.
Right.
Adams County.
And
I looked it up. I looked up her donors. And
did you?
Yeah, it looks like if you want to be a Colorado legislator, then it costs about $60,000 to run a campaign.
Yeah.
It looks like about $60,000. If you can scratch that together, then that looks like the winning number. But anyway, Yadira Caraveo is this is the bill topic is safe and healthy marijuana use. Concerning measures to promote the safe use of regulated marijuana. Okay. Under current law, the Marijuana Enforcement Division has rulemaking authority for standardized marijuana serving size amounts for edible retail marijuana products. The bill extends that authority to all regulated marijuana products. Under current law, a medical marijuana store can sell medical marijuana using an automated machine. This bill repeals that authority. Why?
Yeah.
Why can't you use an automated machine in a dispensary to buy cannabis? Mm-hmm. That's stupid. Why are you messing with stuff? There's no reason for that. Let them put a cannabis vending machine in a dispensary. This is stupid.
Right.
Not only is it stupid, there is no justification for it.
Nope.
There's no justification that it makes it easier for kids to buy. You can't get into a dispensary if you're a kid. There's no evidence that it increases, anything negative associated with cannabis. It's just a different way to buy cannabis in that store. Maybe you can use Bitcoin to do it, huh?
Well, once again, this is an attack on the dispensary's economic growth.
Yeah.
Because, down further in this bill, it also talks about they can no longer give incentives to their employees.
Yeah.
They
so
can
it says
pay their flipping employees as it is.
Yep. It says under current law, marijuana businesses can compensate their employees with performance-based incentives, including sales-based performance-based incentives. This bill repeals the authority for sales-based performance-based incentives. What? Why? You're saying that is... Give me a good reason for that.
Yeah. If you go down to Lowe's, that's not going to be the situation. They're going to, or any other, they're going to want that person to be encouraged to buy, what they need.
Yep.
And, when you come to think about it, so many bud tenders are not educated, but this gives them the incentive to be educated on their products. If they know about it, they know the terpene profiles and what have you, then they can do better for the dispensaries. This is just an attack.
Yep.
This is a commerce attack and no reason.
Yep. Stay out of our business. Stay out of our business. Okay, here's the stuff that really drives me crazy, these bullet points. Mm-hmm. The bill prohibits a licensed medical marijuana store or retail marijuana store from selling any medical or retail marijuana concentrate or medical or retail marijuana product that contains butane, propane, or a known human carcinogen, like you said earlier. So no BHO, no PHO. Although it says that contains butane, so I don't actually have a problem with that. I think they should be purging all of the butane.
And don't they?
And I believe that they do, and that products are tested before they go to the dispensary, and you can read the labs on them, and you can know if there are residual solvents in there. We're already past that. They're making laws in 2020, attempting to make a law in 2021 that addresses a 2014 problem, and it's stupid.
Right. Now I have here a package of distillate from the very generous Sean Honecker. And this product says that it's been, regular oversight, safety, and efficacy. It complies with the testing requirements. And so I don't see solvents, butane, propane, ethanol. But it's all on there. And I don't know what more these people want from us.
Yeah, we've already addressed this. They could strike that bullet point. The second point is, so this would prohibit stores from selling medical or retail marijuana shatter, medical or retail marijuana wax, medical or retail marijuana anal suppositories, or medical or retail marijuana vaginal suppositories. Where's this coming from?
Right. And why?
Why?
When you call me and I'm having an attack and I can't stop throwing up, you're going to wish to God I had these suppositories. Because sometimes it has to go in the other way.
Yep.
I'm an epilepsy patient. This is quickest for me. being if I'm having a vomiting issue, whatever. And why do you have a problem with it when it stops? You know, this is a dangerous, dangerous bill.
Yep.
That's just all there is to it. And grossly, grossly negligent on behalf of this doctor, because there's no safety net for
No.
for all the cannabis patients.
No. The third thing that it bans, I love this one. So this bill prohibits selling a vaping device or inhaler device capable of use with medical or retail marijuana and flavored liquid containing THC. So they're going to ban vapes.
Yeah.
Capable of use.
Mm-hmm.
Every vape is capable of use with that. Maybe we could use this to have them ban Juul and Blue and all the ones that took us out of the vaping game. This is so yeah, you couldn't even, I guess a dispensary could not sell like a PAX.
Right.
Because it says marijuana and flavored liquid containing THC. So this applies to bud and, actual vape oil. So, yeah, they're going to ban, they will not allow dispensaries to sell vaping products. It's stupid.
Yeah.
It will prohibit them from.
And one of the things that the VWorks product did that we heard back so much from, and even with myself, you could watch it with me with muscle tinges, is our vets talking about how it helped them instantaneously with anxiety issues, with pain issues, and that kind of stuff. And it does. Inhalation is the fastest way to get it into your body if you're in a crisis. And they're just going to scratch that off.
They're going to kill all vape cartridges. Open vape, gone. Craft, gone.
Right.
Sesh, all of them, gone. Let's see, it would prohibit the selling of medical or retail marijuana concentrate, or a medical or retail marijuana product that contains greater than 15% THC. Which at this point, how much cannabis sold in a dispensary has less than 15% THC? Like some strains like ACDC or Sour Tsunami or real high CBD,
Right. If I'm looking for a high CBD, that's what it's going to be.
Yep.
Yeah.
But everything else, I mean, again, they're writing, we're way past that. It would be difficult to grow cannabis that had less than 15% THC if you're...
Well, I'm not really interested in cannabis that's less than 15% THC.
Because you just got to smoke more of it to get the desired medicinal effect. This is unhealthy.
Right. But, what is going to happen? And I'm going to make sure that this is brought up. It is going to draw the concentrate to the black market. And you're going to have more incidences of people who don't know what they're doing blowing their damn houses up. It happens all the time. Yep. And they put themselves in dangerous situations, not thinking about what they're doing and the hazards that they're putting themselves into. So doing something like that, taking it out of a regulated market, is asking for nothing but disaster.
Yes. Asking for explosions and stupidity all around.
Yep.
Which I would expect nothing less from such a stupid bill.
Yeah. And even now, I have a lot of people that make things for me, but they know what they're doing.
Yeah, and they're not open blasting BHO in their apartment.
No.
Yeah. It would also prohibit medical or retail marijuana concentrate, or a medical or retail marijuana product that uses a nationally recognized brand name or trade name of a non-regulated marijuana item. I agree with that. It seems like the existing trademark owners could solve that just through the, civil suits if you're infringing on someone's trademark. I assume that they're trying to cut down on the... I don't see it in Colorado. I see a ton of this stuff from like Oklahoma and Michigan where people are like, weed Fruit Loops, or, dank Krispies.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that I don't really have a problem with. says a licensed medical marijuana store shall not sell, advertise through billboards or roadside signage, or utilize social media influencers who appeal to minors in order to market its store. They could paint with a very broad brush the appeal to minors. Or I've never seen anybody out there saying, "Hey kids, ninth grade got you down, buy some weed.
Yeah.
Come to our dispensary where we've got millions of dollars tied up in that.
Right.
Come to our dispensary. We want to sell. We want to. It's ridiculous. I guess it prevents us from reaching out to like PewDiePie or somebody to on YouTube to.
Right.
But again, it's an unnecessary encroachment. And already this bill should die because of things that we've already said. 15% THC, banning concentrates. Are you kidding me?
People will die. Children will die.
People are going to make them at home.
Yeah. We're going to make it at home. We're going to make mistakes. It's going to have too much solvent in there. It's not going to work. It's unregulated. We don't know how much it is.
Yep.
Like me, I went to extensive lengths to get a regimen under control and know how much I'm taking on a daily basis and the differences of what I have to do, because sometimes if it's during the day, I can't take RSO. I need to, maybe if I'm in pain, use a topical, or I love patches and, but all sorts of different ways of consuming it that all has to do with concentrates. My fastest way of relief is Mountain High Suckers.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Pretty effective.
Yeah, and they're really, really fast. Another one is the syrups that our friends make, and some other people have started making as well, because it's in a corn sugary syrup. The body just accepts it quickly and you feel it quicker.
Yeah.
But what's getting on down on this bill is, where's my HIPAA when they're asking for things to be reported?
Yeah, we got a couple other bits before that, because this next set of bullet points is all just ridiculous.
Yeah, my eyes are literally on fire from looking at this, so I need you to help me read it.
All right. In addition to the labeling provisions required by rule, all medical marijuana concentrate, and medical marijuana products sold by a medical marijuana store must include a label that lists all ingredients, including all active constituents, inert ingredients, preservatives, pesticides, and other compounds. Again, everybody's already doing this. I don't care. All medical marijuana concentrate, and medical marijuana products sold by a medical marijuana store must be formulated and sold in clearly discernible, divisible, and distinct standardized dosage units. Again, that's already the way that it is.
Right.
Unless, think about this. Maybe they're trying. One way to read this would be that you could only sell bud in amounts that had 5 milligrams of THC in it.
That would
or
be
10
correct.
milligrams. Yeah, THC standard dosage for a liquid medical marijuana product is 5 milligrams of THC. For all other medical marijuana concentrate, and medical marijuana products, the standard dosage is 10 milligrams of THC. This provision also applies to retail marijuana. So and it says, let me make sure that, medical marijuana. It's not just concentrate and, like they call cannabis 2.0 products. It's not just concentrate and manufactured products. This applies to the bud. So they're going to, the way that this reads, it's going to be like Florida. In Florida, you have to buy cannabis in these stupid containers that are have you seen one of those? It's portioned out into little, individual portions. But 10 milligrams of THC would mean, if you also include this new 15% cap on THC, then you'd have 150 milligrams of total weight in an individual container. Think about the packaging waste. And just think about how stupid is this? It's ridiculous. And there's no justification for it. There's nothing that has occurred in Colorado that justifies any of these measures, except
Right.
for, the ganking national brands and putting weed on them. I agree with that. But that's already dealt with. There are already ways to deal with that.
Mm-hmm.
If I make, Rice Krispie treats, I can't put the Rice Krispie logo on them. Everybody knows that. And
Right.
and if you do that, then these brands, they'll take care of themselves. They'll defend their trademark. So that's just unnecessary. Okay, now here's this part that you were getting into. Under current law, there is a prescription drug use monitoring program that records and tracks prescriptions and orders to prevent misuse of prescription drugs. The bill creates a similar program in the Department of Public Health and Environment, the Medical Marijuana Use Monitoring Program. When a practitioner makes a medical marijuana recommendation, the practitioner must certify that the recommendation to the Department of Public Health and Environment. The bill requires the certification to include the date of issue and the effective date of the recommendation, the patient's name and address, the recommending physician's name, address, and Federal Drug Enforcement Agency number, the potency level of medical marijuana being recommended, the dosage form, the quantity recommended, directions for use, the number of refills, and the recommending physician's signature.
Good much?
Oh my goodness. We've got a decade of medical under our belts. We know that none of this is necessary. All they're trying to do is create more bureaucrats to get involved in. That's the last thing we need.
Right.
Or maybe we should support this. Let's make a new division that has, say, 500,000 people in it to monitor this. And we'll all just be weed program implementers. Let's employ everybody doing that. This is stupid. CDPHE doesn't even have enough people to go around and properly enforce health codes.
Right. Right. As it is. This is just ridiculous. Ridiculous.
And the DEA needs to stay out of it.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the gist of it. There's some other stuff, but we need to get active, get loud, and make sure that this dies even before committee. I see that there's no Senate sponsorship. There should be no senators. If you're my state senator and you sponsor this bill, or my state rep, then I will remember. And when you come back up,
Gretchen Schaefer, she's like, greedy pharma. Yeah. Alcohol is also a known carcinogen. What about that? So stupid. Brian Rainwater's kind of like, why? What's the point? Die, Bill, die. Yeah, we're working on it.
Die, Bill.
Yeah.
The bill will ban shatter. It'll ban all concentrates. It will ban vapes. It will make cannabis bud have to be under 15% THC. Actually, you know what? It doesn't say THCA. Ha! Right? What is it?
No.
Does it say Delta 9?
I didn't see Delta 9.
Let me scroll back. Yeah, it just says tetrahydrocannabinol, which is not the same molecule as tetrahydrocannabinolic acid, THCA, which is, so maybe we can do like we did with the farm bill. We're like, 0.3% Delta 9 THC, and everybody's like, that's fine. This purple kush, it's got 28% THCA and 0.029% Delta 9 THC. Call it hemp.
Right. Right.
But it would have to be portioned out, and it would still. If they fix that, then we're going to get into the portioning problem. But we need to kill this. Yadira Caraveo from Colorado District 31. This is a bad bill. You should kill it yourself. I wonder who wrote it. I wonder if we should do a FOIA request and check your emails about this topic and see who provided you with this bill. So I wonder if you even wrote it. or if it came from like Smart Colorado. Smart Colorado.
Yeah. That's
Smart
what
Colorado.
some of us have been tracing that, and that's exactly who's on this.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
So.
Oh, all right.
That's
So we got to kill that one. It doesn't have a bill number yet, but we're going to stay on it. We're all going to have to uh, rally together and do what we can, mostly remotely, I guess, to put some pressure on these elected leaders of ours to kill this stupid bill before it even reaches the subcommittee or whatever. It's
right.
ridiculous. It will gut the industry. It will have just serious negative consequences for all medical patients, and it's a bad bill. Needs to go away.
Now I'll make sure things are posted on the Veedworks page. I'll make sure things are posted on the normal page. Other pages to follow is American Medical Refugees, Canada Patient Resource, and those are really good information pages. Another one is Safe Access Colorado is an amazing organization as well. And we are all working and meeting together all week long, all the time, discussing this. So any information that you get from that, please share it out. And I'm going to do a little mini how to advocate. When you make these calls, make sure that you are polite and to the point. There's no need for a bunch of yelling and screaming. I know you're upset, but you say, I am such and such from this county, and I am in opposed for this bill. Do the bill number once it gets there, or right now you can say, the way that they're labeling is now, and why you oppose it. If you are a patient, I would say, I take this and this and this and this, and then end your call. And it'll be listened to and counted as a check. The last thing we want to do is come across as a bunch of wild-haired, fired-up crazies.
But that's what
And
I
so
am.
we'll just, shut that down.
Need to shut it down. All right, you want to go on to the delivery bill? This one also does not have a number.
It also does not have a number. And, this is a tricky one. What I'm looking at and what I'm hearing back is small dispensaries, they don't have the money to put up with a fleet of cars, do the security and all of that. And it would be better for them to have a service come and deliver, which is great, you know. What I'm watching for, and there's not wording on this yet, so I need eyes on the ground, is where is the cost going to fall? The restaurant industry here in Colorado over the past few months have been complaining about losing profits due to delivery costs. We don't want to put all of this burden on the dispensaries, but then again, we don't want to put this on the patient that needs the delivery either. So I'm trying to pay really close attention to that. Another thing on this delivery bill is they're trying to avoid the Amazon type model, which I don't know why, I don't have a problem with, of these different carriers going and just having a resource and delivering and not being a dispensary, so to speak. Or so they're saying you can't have more than 50% of your business going through delivery. My question is, it's a global pandemic. Why the heck not?
Right.
We're pushing this because there's a pandemic. Boulder has, and there is wording in each of the counties to put this in operation already. They don't need to be rewriting it and putting these type of stipulations on there.
When I read this bill, it really jumped out at me as something that the existing big dispensaries would be behind.
Right.
Because it requires you to make 50% of your revenue in just person-to-person in-store purchases.
Right.
So this bill also prevents delivery of cannabis between a warehouse and a person. So it's got to go through a dispensary before it goes to a person and consumer. So I think they're kind of staking out their rooms so that people don't open up cannabis shops with no frontage,
Right.
none of the retail stuff to deal with. You just got a bunch of weed in a, secure, storage locker basically, and then running it out of there. That's what they're
Right.
trying to prevent.
Right.
But yeah,
Well,
you can
there
see
was
that.
a ABC affiliate here in Denver had a 360 conversation. And one of the opponents was a father that with safe access. And this man really thinks that his teenager is going to be able to get a delivery. And that just isn't the case. And that's what we need to get across is this is going to go to a person who has an ID to show. There it's going to be packaged very well. It's not like a dime bags being delivered from the damn quarter or anything. This has all the safeguards in, and even what do you call them, body cameras. So your 16-year-old is not going to get cannabis delivered to your door. It's just not going to happen.
But the children. But the children. They always show up. But this will harm kids. How?
How?
Uh, well, it just will.
Yeah.
That's their argument. It's, yeah. So we need this to be worked on. I'm not. I don't know as much about this as you do, but that's also something that Normal's going to be working on, and that we'll all have to band together and fight for patients' rights and fight for common sense. In the age of COVID, we're all locked in our houses. Everything else is delivered. We should be able to have cannabis delivered, and it shouldn't have to come through a huge dispensary chain. That's not patient friendly.
No. No.
It is not a
Not at all.
patient's first type of legislation. It is an anti, and it's the House sponsor's last name is Snyder. I didn't look them up, but about the potency cap.
Mhm.
The sponsor of that bill is a Democrat. Just
Interesting.
so with this, I saw somebody post on Facebook. I'm going to remain this person's Facebook friend for a little bit longer, but they posted on Facebook something along the lines of, now there's only two types of people in this country: Democrats and basically anti-American bigots. It was something like that. Like, dude, you didn't cut out any room for libertarians in there, and they're trying to make us fight each other. We all need to stop fighting each other and fight Wall Street. Let's start with that.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, in talking about unity, that brings us to the last bill I want to talk about. And I'm not bringing it to you as any organization I represent, but everything I represent as an individual in the relationship. But as the cannabis industry, this isn't a cannabis bill. This is a community energy choice bill. And what I did was when I read it back in, when did we have Edie Hooten on? Back in October, wasn't it? October, right before the
It was
election.
before the election. Yeah.
Excuse me. I saw this, and so I sent it out to about 10 different farmers. And the result that I got back kind of blew my mind a little bit. I had one farmer tell me that he was told by the energy company he had to invest $1 million and he still wouldn't get the energy he needed. I had another farmer that tell me that this would be such a great thing for the cannabis industry because we can advertise that our cannabis is grown with clean energy. But the way that I am looking at it is with the different strangleholds that these monopoly energy companies have. Not only do we have lack of the energy we need to grow these companies, but most of the time, I believe one of the farmers told me that cannabis companies are even charged more. I didn't realize that. So I sent this out. There's a lot of momentum behind it. I'm not the one working on this bill. I want the hemp industry to pick up this bill. I'd like the farmers to pick up this bill. I'd like anybody that basically, if you turn on a light, pick up this bill. There's a lot going on right now talking about, oh, the jobs. Okay, let's think about coal. If we had that mindset, oh, what about the jobs? We'd still be shoveling coals into our furnaces to stay warm. Other countries are already ahead of us in energy. Governor Polis wants more energy on the ground, clean energy, by 2025. This is coming. And what happens along with it is jobs in the solar and wind energy, because somebody's going to have to do those jobs. And you're going to hear from big oil, oh, you're going to lose jobs. No, you're not. You're going to get education, you're going to get job training, and you're going to get more jobs. And it's not going to be polluting this earth and causing more excessive global emissions. But the other thing that matters is the Farm Bill caused a lot of divisiveness in our community. We were told over and over again, stay in your lane. We had on the Beadwork show people who had different opinions about the Farm Bill come on.
Oh yeah, Amendment X. I remember that.
Right. But if I can tip off my hemp, my cannabis, my whatever farmers, that you can have a seat at this table, and why not go ahead and be the farmers of the wind, of the energy farms, and flip this economic cycle that's going on and go forward, then the cost of our cannabis will go down. Our carbon footprint, we talked about packaging. Oh my gosh, I'm working on packaging too. But that lowering our carbon footprint is going to help us with lowering our perception of who we are in the industry. If we come across as big supporters of this, well, we're not such dirty hippies anymore, now are we?
We haven't been for a long time. I don't even know who thinks that anymore. Probably Yadira Alivedo or whatever her name was.
Right. And lastly,
Caraveo
has brought this bill, and Edie Hooten has been our champion, whether it's a consumer issue, whether it's a patient issue, she has been there. And this is her bill. She's going to reintroduce it. And this is our way to give back boots on the ground support. And if you're interested in working on this bill, she wants to talk to our farmers. So contact me directly or contact me through Beadworks. And I will get you on that Zoom call with her and make sure that the farmers that are wanting to be part of this are.
So this is House Bill 20-1064.
Right, and that's probably going to be redone because, House Bill 20 was for last bill. It's going to be 21 something.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
once she reintroduces it.
I feel like we're still in 2020.
Yeah, and I just think this is good fellowship. This is an opportunity for us to work together across the line and dissolve the stay in your lane mentality.
We need to meme our way out of that. First bill is the one that I hate the most.
Right.
This potency cap. We need to calling all memers. I wish we still had vape pens and stuff to give people. We need a prize. You can do the best meme that destroys this stupid bill.
Yeah. And, remind y'all, we've killed them before.
Yep.
We have killed them before.
Yep.
And we can do it again.
Yep. Let's do it. Let us do it. This is normally when I would ask somebody if they believed in Sasquatch. Did you see that Oklahoma, some Oklahoma rep put forward a bill that would have a Sasquatch hunting permit in Oklahoma?
No, I did not.
I think that's genius. I mean, it's bad for Sasquatch. But
they can't kill him, can they? Can they just tranquilize him?
I don't know. Maybe you have to capture Sasquatch, but since nobody's ever killed one and had that information become public, I think that if you actually shot a Bigfoot, then Bureau of Land Management would show up and take it away, hide it in some Bigfoot, like, frozen depository of some sort. But,
Oh, it's like alien research or along those lines at
yeah.
least.
But I think it's a genius idea because, and I think we should do it in Colorado, because I would buy a Bigfoot hunting license. Just, if the price was reasonable, just to have it. Just like the marijuana tax stamps.
Right.
Little $10 pieces of gold card stock that you can buy in Kansas. So yeah, I'd buy a license. I'd give the state $25 just to have my Sasquatch hunting license. I think that'd be sweet. I do not condone the shooting of Sasquatch. No,
I don't either. That's terrible. But I think he's an interdimensional creature anyway.
Yeah, it may be impossible to. I don't know. I've heard stories of people killing Sasquatch. I think they can be killed. Maybe they can be trapped in our dimension for a brief moment of time, and then they can be taken out. But anyway, all right.
I'm waiting for the 180 days to come.
Oh, I know. I heard that they have a junior officer putting this information together basically on their free time. I don't have a lot of hope that we're going to find out anything interesting at the end of this 180 days as it relates to UAPs, they're calling them now. I'm not, my hopes aren't up. But then again, anything can happen. It's 2021. GameStop going to 1,000.
Yep.
Wearing 2 masks. Anal probes on the way.
Oh,
it's our year.
The age of Aquarius.
Yeah. Cool. All right, everybody, please kind of stay checked in as we're working on these bills. This potency cap is an absolutely devastating bill for the industry, and there's nobody who has a business that should be in favor of this bill.
No.
There's nobody, and there's no patient who should be in favor of this bill, and there's no just regular American citizen with regular American rights that wants to consume cannabis in the privacy of their own regular American home. All of us should be opposed to this bill. We need to get it. We need it to die an ugly death before it even gets read out loud in any room in the state house. This is ridiculous.
Needs to die so bad that they don't dare try this again.
Yeah. Maybe think of the best meme to convey the point that if you cap THC limits, it will result in ridiculous things.
Right.
Everybody put on your thinking caps. But, well, we did an hour.
We did an hour.
Just like that.
And unless I bumped today's show was supposed to be one on nutrition and mental health. And I'm trying to get next week I think we need to hurry up and switch that out to cannabis and mental health so that we can get some good educational opportunities for some of these advocates to have a comeback of what to say when they hear cannabis causes anxiety, depression, what have you.
Yep.
So I'm going to work really, really hard on making that happen. Hopefully no other bombshell bills come up like happened last week.
Jenny Gold's tuned in.
Hi, Jenny Gold.
She believes in Sasquatch. Says you're looking beautiful. I believe that she thinks Sasquatch is interdimensional and we shouldn't try to kill him. But we should buy licenses to do it.
Yeah. We should buy all the licenses so nobody else does. And let's just go to love, peace, chicken grease.
Love, peace, chicken grease. All right. Well, thanks for talking to me, Julie. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll probably see you next week. And keep your ears open because these bills are important. And we need to keep moving the ball forward when it comes to cannabis. But yeah, well, that's it. Thanks for tuning in. And as always, I'm Travis Lippert reminding you, wait, let me get my transition set up. There we go. I'm Travis Liberty reminding you, if you don't get hemp here, get hemp somewhere.